What's happening, everyone? This is Andrew over at We the Nerdy, bringing you another round of the sexy, scintillating, and always delightful round of QuickTime reviews. Now, full disclosure, kind of full transparency, as you probably have already seen, I am kind of playing around with this a little bit every week, and I'm trying to get to the best point that I feel comfortable with it. So, if you have any opinions on it, or if you want to see anything change on it, let me know. I'm always up for discussion on this, and I kind of want it to be something that I'm proud of, and you guys are proud of watching every week as well. But for right now, what this is, for people that haven't seen it, is I kind of give a quick summary of what I've been playing up to that point, and give it a buy, wait for sale, or don't buy. So right now, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and get started with the PSVR game Archangel. Now, this came out a couple weeks ago on PSVR, I believe on HTC Vive as well, maybe on the Oculus Rift. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's the old age. 31 is a very terrible age. It's full of old people and graying and the like. But from what I've played, like, this is a game where once I got in and into the actual mech suit, because the premise is you're in a mech suit. Like, this is Gundam, this is Zone of the Enders in VR, and I got giddy. Literally, my wife heard me upstairs, like, screaming for joy when I heard it, and she thought I was completely nerdy, and, well, what can you say, I guess? But in reality, it's an on-rails mech game, and while I find that fun, is it worth the $40 asking price right now? And I gotta say, I'm not saying it is at this point. From what I've read, too, it's only about a 2.5 to 3 hour game. I'm about maybe a half an hour into it from what I've played, to be honest. And I'm enjoying it, but is it really worth $40? At this point, I'm going to leave it at that wait for sale point. And we'll see as I go along to see if it truly does merit that $40 price point. But as of right now, definitely wait for sale. Now, moving on, we have Nidhogg II, which is releasing this week. We should have a full review up on the site as well from one of my other writers, David, about the game. But this is my take on it. It's basically Nidhogg 1 with better graphics and a little bit more gameplay variety. If you are somebody who loves that kind of couch co-op game, this is going to be a perfect game for you. I wasn't able to, unfortunately, play a lot of the online multiplayer because there wasn't a lot of people playing at this point beforehand. And the single-player arcade mode was fun, but it's only about an hour and a half, so there really isn't much replay value in that part of it for it. And the AI, quite honestly, it's pretty dumb. It's, as you can see here, it really isn't take much to manipulate the AI, and while there were some challenges overall, it took me about an hour and a half to complete the campaign or the arcade, which, granted, we didn't have that in the first game so much, and it's nice to have it here. And I really like the art style compared to Nidhogg 1, which is kind of that old 8-bit, almost not even 8-bit, almost a 4-bit Atari, 2600 style setup. So I love the art style here. And for $20, I believe it's retailing for. If you like the couch co-op stuff, definitely worth picking up. I am going to put it as a buy because I did enjoy it. It's probably going to be something where I'm going to probably have the wife try and play this game with me too and see how she likes it. Maybe we'll turn it into a series. If you guys think it should be a series, let me know. Leave a comment below, and we'll see. Moving on is probably one of my favorite games that I'm playing right now, and that is Lawbreakers, the multiplayer-only, kind of, sort of Overwatch, but not quite Overwatch game that released last week. Now, one of my guys, Chad, I am sorry. It is late when I'm recording this. Is doing our review. He has his review up for the PC version. I'm playing on the PS4, of course, and I love the game. It's something where there definitely are the Overwatch undertones and overtones to it, but I have a lot more fun with this game than I think I did with Overwatch. I don't feel like that there is a balancing issue as much compared to Overwatch, where I feel like if you are a support character in that game, you're kind of SOL in terms of truly being a player of the game. Where I think with this game, no matter what class you are, you really have a shot at just doing damage and also helping your team as well. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a completely vocal game like Overwatch. That was kind of nice. I'm not huge personally into talking online to other strangers, which is kind of shocking since I'm talking to you guys online in a video. So a little bit of a weird juxtaposition, I guess you say, or weird complex, but it is what it is. But I do enjoy this game a lot, and this is probably going to be a game I'm going to be going back to a lot more in the future, and probably will see a lot more QuickTime reviews going on. BT Dubs, Nash for the win. I love playing as him, and his Aegis is his Law counterpart. So, but I also, as you saw by Archangel, I'm a huge mech fan. What can I say? That's who I am. So for $30, I'm definitely putting this as a buy. Granted, it's not as robust as some other online multiplayer shooters out there, but it's also $30 rather than paying $60 for Overwatch, and it's a fully priced online-only game. So, and even some other games, like even Call of Duty, which, let's face it, they have a single-player campaign, but most people go into it for the multiplayer. And, it's a fun game. This is definitely a game where I think there will be a community built around it, and it's going to be a lot of fun and have a lot of legs in the future. Now, moving on to this, another game that's releasing this week, Sonic Mania. And I had my trepidations going into this game, mainly because it's a Sonic game, and Sonic doesn't really have the best track record, even with 2D games, unfortunately, with Sonic 4 or Episode 2 or Chapter 2, wherever it was. But because they basically had modders of Sonic games make this game, it's really good. If you are a fan of the pure classic Sonic, it's just going to be a game you definitely want to pick up. The main campaign is probably a little bit on the shorter side. There's only 2 acts per level, but they're remixed enough and there's so much more variety to them, and the spirit of Sonic is so pure in this that it's definitely worth a $20 price for sure. And you're also going to be seeing a main review of the game on the site soon, but we're also doing an episode of Split Screened with my son Silas and me covering the game as well. The gameplay you're seeing here is mine. In Split Screen you'll be seeing his gameplay, but it is a great game. And if you're debating between picking up this and Mega Man Legacy Collection 2, I would definitely pick up Sonic Mania. There is definitely a lot more to it. There are a couple modes you actually unlock after you beat the first zone that I'm not going to spoil for that, but there's definitely, it's worth picking up for sure, especially if you are a Sonic fan who reminisces about the older Sonic games of yore. 100% pick this up without question. Now, moving on to a game that is one of my personal favorites of all time, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, or Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I'm sorry. With the looming launch of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, I picked this up a week or two back when it was on a flash sale. And for $15, it's Marvel vs. Capcom. It's there really isn't much to talk about with this game much anymore, but the combat is fantastic. It's polished. It's great. I don't know what else to say about it other than even at the $25 price point that it normally is, it's worth it. Especially with the concerns I have with the demo that I played of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. You have this to fall back on at least, which is nice because at least you have a good Marvel vs. Capcom game on the PlayStation 4 and even the Xbox One. Now, granted, it doesn't have Mega Man. It has Zero. And it doesn't have Venom, which pisses me off because those were my mainstays back in the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 days, which, please, Capcom, please, if you are listening to this for some reason, if you're watching this, for the love of God, please, just port Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Please, that's all I'm asking for. I don't want Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I don't want 2v2 fighting. I want Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Please. Please. I will do anything. I will sell the soul of one of my writers, probably Chad, to you for this. So, or let's see, whose soul would you want me to sell from We the Nerdy to get Marvel vs. Capcom 2 onto the current gen platforms? Leave a comment. We'll see what happens. We'll take a poll. But definitely, yeah. Can you tell I'm tired? And well, anyway, now I'm starting to stutter. This is fantastic. Anyway, leave a comment below on that. But definitely, this is a buy, 100%. This game is great. Not really much of a single player mode, but you probably know about that at this point. But it's a fantastic game, well worth the money. Now finishing it up is another game that released last week, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. Yeah, it was Senua's Sacrifice. I am a huge fan of Ninja Theory. I have purchased all of their games. Enslaved Odyssey to the West is still probably their best game that I've completed. Still haven't beaten Hellblade to say, but I'm a huge Journey to the West fan. I love Dragon Ball. having that kind of monkey / Goku character in there, again, Namco, if you can port Enslaved to the current gen consoles, I will also sell you one of my Rider Souls. For that one, we'll see who you want to sell for that. It's a lesser known title, so I don't want to, we'll discuss that. But with this game, it's hard to say. It's hard to explain, but there isn't much combat. It's not what I think a lot of people expected it to be, kind of like a Dark Souls-y type game, or heavily action like a lot of the Ninja Theory games in the past were. But to compensate that, there is this really awesome aspect of dealing with yourself. And I don't want to get into too much spoiler territory, because I know there's some people out there that spoiled it, but definitely play with headphones if you can. I know our reviewer that covered this, Thomas, did not have headphones, but if you have a chance to have headphones, do it, because it's going to completely rev up the experience, and it's going to make it way better in that sense for that fact, because there's a lot of stuff there that you're going to have a harder time picking up without the headphones. I personally tried to play without headphones, and I wasn't nearly as immersed in the experience of Senua's story as I was with the headphones. Definitely pick them up if you can. It's a game where for $30, this is definitely a buy for me, even though I haven't necessarily put as much time as I want to in this game. It's beautiful, and it's telling an engaging story. Like, I want to keep going. I want to see what's going on with Senua, and the fact that it doesn't hold your hand through the entire game, like, it literally doesn't have any instructions on how to do combat, how to climb, or anything. It's really nice, and it's even if it's just a game that you want to show off to your friends, say, hey, this is what a PS4 game looks like in 2017, as sure, you're probably showing people your PC rigs and whatnot more so, but even still, this is what we all expected next gen to look like 4 years ago, and this is something where to me it even looks better than a game like Uncharted, and it's great. It's definitely a buy for sure, and even if it's only a 6-hour game, it doesn't matter. You're still getting your money's worth at that point. Well, I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for things over here. Tell me what you think. Again, this is a constant changing, fluid experience for right now. So, leave a comment, tell us what you think, and be sure to, like, follow, and subscribe to We The Nerdy on all of our platforms: Facebook, Twitter, not Instagram, YouTube. If you're on here, subscribe, please. And thank you. And just a quick side note, we're celebrating our 4-year anniversary, so go us!